Yo, we all know it wouldn't be a live stream if I didn't start by fannying around with my hair. Is it a live stream if you don't fanny around with your hair? I don't think so. I don't think so. Ugh. Hello, hello. Hey, Lucy. How you doing? Oh, I forgot I still had some coffee left. Yay. Simple pleasures. Just wait and see if any of y'all are around to join me live. Oh, it's sunny today. Hey, right, now do I say your name Amana? Is that correct? Hey, Kathy. You're back for more. Am I live in my Facebook group or just on my... Oh, it doesn't really matter. But am I live in my Facebook group or on my profile? Where are you watching this? Just so I know. Amana, fantastic. Are you a first-time offender watching me live? I feel like I haven't seen your name pop up on a live stream before. Hello and welcome. I was sitting on the couch drinking my coffee. I have a fair sized break in between clients today. I've done 2 this morning and then my final one on a Wednesday is at 5:30. So I have this gap and I don't program. Oh, it is in Minds. Okay, fab. Thanks, Kathy. Love how you've got my back. So good. Amazing. A lot of times just never said, look, oh, Amanda, hello. So you've been a voyeur sneaking around in the background. Well, it's lovely to have you here and in the energy. It's lovely to speak with you and like feel you in the group. So welcome. So yes, I was sitting on the couch having my coffee. I have this lovely break in between my first 2 clients of the day and then have this big gap in the day. And I generally don't program anything into my schedule. I don't program any admin work, any friends, anything. I don't program in a thing because generally what I like to do is have a bath, go for a walk, just chill out, reset my system ready for my evening session. Today I was walking in the woods and I had a big grieving process happen for something which was quite interesting. It was about a friendship. It was about the dynamics of a friendship changing. And I'd never really allowed myself to grieve what the friendship used to be. And as I was walking through the woods, I could feel like, I just felt like this, something that was irritating me. And I was like, what is this feeling? It's really, something, if I can't feel my sacral and I can't drop into my body and feel my body as I'm moving through the day, I know there's something going on. So when I was on my walk, I couldn't, and the annoying thing was it was like a slippery little eel. I couldn't quite catch the emotion or what it was attached to. And I was like, this is so annoying. And so I just thought, okay, well, maybe this is just what my day is. Maybe this isn't even mine. I don't know. Maybe I just get to feel like this today and just deal with it. And as soon as I surrendered myself to like, okay, well, maybe this is just how I feel today, I started to actually feel some tears welling. And I just let them come. I just let the tears like pour out of my face and like had a full on like bubbly snot cry as I was walking through the woods. Luckily, no one approached me. If they had done, I think they would have been like, you okay, Han? I'd have been like, leave me alone. I'm grieving a thing that doesn't really need to be grieved, but you don't understand my emotional work. So I was grieving away. And I was like, what is this? And I realized like we're close to the time of year now when my friend committed suicide all those years ago. So this time of year can be a little bit emotional for me anyway. I can get these waves of grief and stuff that are just like residual that kind of come up around this time of year. Even though I'm not consciously thinking about his death, there can be these like almost like our body recognizes like the changing of the seasons. And when we go through a trauma, our body absorbs all of the information, like so much. I can't remember the exact, it's like tens, hundreds of thousands of pieces of fucking information. It just goes, takes a picture energetically and emotionally of everything that was around at the time. And I could go into a big full-scale rant here about how people develop allergies and phobias and like chronic pain and all sorts of things from those like moments of like bang trauma. When our body just goes and takes that screenshot, it's like it holds everything. It's like, if all of these pieces align, this must equal something bad's going to happen. So it's like our subconscious is always looking out for signals to warn us, to activate our defense mechanisms. Anyway, more about that if you come and do the EFT training with me, because quite frankly, we need to cover that stuff a little bit at least. We're going to cover that for sure. But what happened today was when I was in the woods, I could feel this wave and I thought, well, maybe it's to do with Fran, maybe it's to do with the way that my body, without even knowing my energetic system and emotional system, kind of recognize maybe the amount of pollen that's in the air or whatever it is that has been stored in my system. And maybe it's just like releasing another layer of grief. Does that make sense? It's okay if it doesn't also, because it just is what it is. But if it does make sense, then cool. You learned something today. You're welcome. Ta-da! So I thought maybe it was just that. So I allowed myself to feel it. And as it was moving, I realized it was actually not the grief of losing my friend, although maybe part of it was that. What was actually happening was I was integrating something that I cleared last night with EFT tapping. Okay, good. I'm glad that makes sense, Amala. So last night I did some tapping when I was in bed because I got triggered around something. So I did a little bit of EFT tapping on myself and had this big realization about some anger I'd been holding on to and how I was not just at one person, but at like a series of people where I'd seen this pattern like repeated over and over again. And I felt like I had no control over how people, well, I don't have any control over how people live their life. Of course I don't. But in those moments, I didn't even realize that what I was craving was control over how they responded to me, whether they keep me in their life or whether they don't. And, you know, how people relate to me or receive me in their life or whatever. So people's lives change. And I've been very good historically at when someone else's life pivots and changes and maybe moves them in a different direction. If that doesn't directly align with the direction in which I'm going, I just kind of go, okay, cool. And I can just let people go quite easily. I can just like shut them out and like move on. And I don't do it from a place of malice. It's just a subconscious kind of defense mechanism. And this subconscious defense mechanism made itself conscious a while ago, so I have been aware of it, but I didn't really have the resources emotionally or mentally in a way to choose differently. So I would see it as, okay, so now I know I'm doing it, at least I know I'm doing it and I can choose out of it if I wish. But there was still a part of me that was like, oh, well, now that I'm doing it consciously, that somehow makes it okay. The fact that I'm doing it consciously was like I just needed to journey that for a while before I was able to then see other ways to deal with it. I know this might all sound a bit vague, but I feel like it's probably landing with you. If you need to understand this, I feel like it's going to land with you and I don't need to go too much into explaining it, right? We've all had relationships where we've dipped in and out or where we've left people behind or we've learned that, oh God, I wish I wouldn't have just walked away from that relationship. But you do the best you can with the resources that you have at the time and you continue to learn and grow. And when you have new resources and new information, you have then a choice to make a different choice next time. Or if the relationship is still available to you, you have the option to go back to that person and be like, oh my God, I have this new information about how I deal with shit. I'm so sorry if you feel to apologize. And what happened to me today was after clearing that stuff with the tapping last night and then having this grieving process as integration today in the woods, I reached out to my best friend, you know, we've been besties for years. We've known each other a really long time. We reconnected properly a few years ago. And then we just kind of drifted apart. And I realized today that I had shut my heart down and so maybe had come across as being a bit aloof. So I reached out to her today and I just explained, and I was like, I'm so sorry if that's the case. It's not that I don't love you. It's actually that I love you so much. I had to shut my heart down a little bit to protect myself from the fear of losing you, or for the fear of, you see like there's still emotion around it, the fear of our dynamic changing. And what I realized on my way back from the walk before I sent the message, which is what enabled me to feel a place of peace and in integrity, reaching out to her. I didn't need anything from her. I didn't need her to come back and go, oh my God, that's amazing, or oh no, it'll reject me. Like I wasn't attached to the outcome. I just felt to reconnect and explain, because I felt like I was coming from this deeper place of clarity. And what was crazy was when I got back from my walk, she had messaged me, which is hilarious. She might, I don't know, she'll probably even start watching this now. If you're watching, hey girl! But she had messaged me at the time when I was out on that walk, and I was like, okay, this is fucking mad. This is like, I really need to reach out to her now. So we had a little conversation. It was all good. And she was like, yeah, it's totally cool. Like, I've probably done the same thing. So it's coming from my side as well. As in, like, don't feel too bad about it. We both have that mechanism. And actually that sometimes when we love someone so much and we are afraid of being rejected, or we're afraid of our dynamic changing, and what if it's not the same, we'll literally just shut ourselves down. And what was really beautiful was that because we were able to communicate so openly about this on the other side of the trigger, we can move through that now and we'll just be even better. And it wasn't an emotional thing and there was no blame. It was just literally like me bringing my heart to the table, her bringing her heart to the table, and reconnecting through a place of mutual love and understanding of each other. And I feel so much lighter. And I've obviously been carrying that shit round for like a year, maybe even 2 or 3 years. Like, it's crazy how long I've been carrying that round. Hey, Sina. Ah, thank you. I think it might be my sexy new iPhone. My eyes look particularly green for some reason. And I'm living for it, quite frankly. So thank you. So yeah, so as I was saying, so I had that grieving process, and then what I had an awareness of one of the reasons why I'd kind of shut my heart down to this person a little bit and distanced myself to protect myself was because, and here's the gem that I hadn't ever realized before, the thing that connected not just this friendship, but all of the other people. There was a thread that ran through not just this relationship, but other relationships which I had experienced this same pattern of like distancing myself from people. What it was I didn't feel chosen by them. So if it serves you to do so, and if you feel to, see if that resonates in your body. Like, they didn't choose me, you know? And then think about how that would ripple out into your relationships, but also into your business if you run a business. How you could feel so wounded if somebody didn't choose you and they chose somebody else, or they chose seemingly somebody else or something else above and beyond you. And to feel that if that triggers a wound in you, how you would then shut yourself down to being available, A, for that person to come back, but also B, for the people who are actually present and want you now. Yeah? So whether it's personal relationships or business relationships, can you see how this pattern that maybe we're carrying, if you resonate with that pattern at all, I'd love to know, like, please let me know in the comments if this is resonating with you particularly. There's definitely, when I fell into like, oh, they didn't choose me, I just asked myself in the woods on this walk, because I was coming out the other side of the grieving, I was like, oh, can I choose myself? And where am I not choosing myself? Hey, Julia, nice to see you, love. Yeah, where am I not choosing myself? Which I think, Samara as well. Oh my goodness, this is like a combination of just all my favourite people jumping on a live stream. I wonder who else is going to join us. So exciting, I love it. So yeah, like, where am I not choosing myself? Because as we know, it always starts with us. It always does. And so where am I not choosing myself? Where am I waiting for someone to buy something or someone to contact me to reach out and offer me an opportunity? Or where am I waiting for somebody to message me, a friend or whatever, and rekindle a relationship, when in fact what I'm craving from those relationships or from those signs from the universe, I'm craving a feeling of not just being acknowledged. It wasn't that, it was deeper than that. And it was this idea that, like, can I choose myself? Can I choose myself over and over again, regardless of what the world is showing me, regardless of what this current physical reality is showing me? I've got so many goosebumps right now. Regardless of what the media is telling me, or social media is telling me, or other people who aren't me are telling me, can I come back to choosing me and my sovereignty and what I know is right for me without shutting my heart down, without pushing things out? Can I try things on for size and trust that I can let them go if they're not right? Yeah. So yeah, so totally, right? You felt discarded. So my question, if that, you know me well enough by now, if that was me, I'd be like, okay, where am I discarding myself? Where have I not chosen myself? And where have I discarded myself? And that's really where we get that gut punch of, "Bruh." And for me, I'm at that point in my personal journey, and you may or may not be there. So, you know, feel into whether this is right for you. Sometimes I'd be looking into, well, where have I discarded myself? And like looking at the places where I've maybe like let myself down, you know, not put myself first, and where I've been the perpetrator in my own life to myself. And then other times, like today, I'm actually looking at, well, where can I choose myself? Am I willing to do that? Rather than looking at the places where I haven't been doing it, can I just choose now to start choosing me? And what is, it's, you know, it's interesting because my natural inclination is always, excuse me, just shifting. My natural inclination is always to kind of jump into my head and start thinking and journaling and analysing. But with this, it felt very clear to me that it was a feeling in my body. How does it feel to me to feel chosen? What is the feeling I'm chasing, that I'm craving? And how can I feel that in my body right now? What decisions feel like that for me? And how can I live into that? And so the way that I chose to do that today was by reaching out to this friend and reconnecting and having that beautiful conversation with her, which was so healing for me and hopefully for her. That's interesting. I just read that comment and it's like spinning around my head. Now I realise that they set me free. Yeah, for sure. And also it's like, sometimes we don't realise that we've been asking for the thing that we've been gifted, but we just didn't know. We didn't want it to come that way. We wanted to control how it came to us. We wanted to control how we felt free and how things worked out at that particular job, for example. But in the end, when you actually take a step back and look at everything, you realise, oh, I probably never really felt fully appreciated or celebrated for my gifts or whatever in that place. So it's almost like you gave them the power, you gave them so much power that in the end, when they made you redundant and set you free, as you said there, it's like, now you can see how much power you'd put in their hands. And now you can see that you're actually, have you read it? I haven't, no. Maybe I should. Do you recommend it, Georgie? Yeah, so anyway, I'm just finding this kind of little piece here quite fascinating around choosing myself. How can I choose me? What does it feel like to choose me? And above and beyond everything, just doing it. Just being it. Just being in the world, in the frequency of, I choose me. Above and beyond everything, I choose me. And what's beautiful about that is it encapsulates so many things, because people will come to me and they'll be like, oh, I want to do this, but I'm afraid of this. or I don't feel safe, or what if it goes wrong? What will people think? I don't know what to say. But ultimately, if you come back to the phrase and the frequency in the body of I choose me, from that place, I am safe because I am full, I'm whole. I choose me is not selfish. I choose me is choosing the frequency of who you are and being the embodiment of that in the world. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Very level 7 spiral vibes, right? I'm like, we are one. Om Shanti. Hi, Eva. Nice to see you. It's been a while. So that's my little insight into my brain today. I'd love to know what you took from it. What was your main takeaway? I feel very calm and yeah, just super peaceful after that. And it's interesting because in level 7 of the spiral, we do clear, peace and enlightenment, along with other things. But those are 2 of the clears we do at level 7. And I think what I'm realizing is that when I am peaceful, when I can find that place of peace within myself, like I spoke about in my live stream yesterday, actually, I become more available for the breakthrough because my system is calm, it's ready to receive, and also I choose me, so therefore I know that that is a filter through which I can put everything that the universe presents to me. Is this taking me closer to who I am at my core, or is it moving me further away from who I am at my core? And when I come back to I choose me, I have a great reference point to feel into that in my physical body, in my energetic system. So loves, that's it from me. I'm going live on Saturday at 2 p.m. in here to do the final masterclass, which is going to be, because I keep getting all the little drops about the stuff that needs to be shared, and it's existential as fuck as always. Because I'm me and that's how we roll. It's kind of a little bit of like real life 3D shit mixed with a whole lot of 5D. What the fuck? So do come and join us. You can find the time and all the bits and bobs. You can actually go to the events tab in this Facebook group. And if you're watching this on YouTube, just go over to Facebook and search Mindset and Life Transformations. Come join the group. And in the events, you will find this masterclass, which will go on to be a paid product. So it's worth getting in on it while it's free, while it's live. Come and join us. Why wouldn't you? I'm going to do a Q&A at the end and some laser coaching as well, some intuitive drops for you specifically. You can ask me all the things. And I would be remiss if I did not mention that you can still join Disrupt until the 18th of March. Come and play. Link is above in the title of this live stream. If you want to know more and you feel that there wasn't enough on the sales page and you want to ask me more questions, feel free to drop into my inbox. Equally, if you know that it is for you, just let me know by signing up. Click the link, do the thing. I'm excited. See you there. Bye.